Well, we're back in the game. The settings are maxed out. I'll just go outside here and everything. Actually, fuck it. Let's see what happens. Oh, woo, works. Let's do the weather. Let's change the weather to extra sunny because shadows. Let's make myself invincible. And all the good stuff. Okay. So, you won't be able to see the graphical finesse, and it is running at a solid 60. Before we do a benchmark, however, I'm going to step away from the car. Step away from the car. Step away from the car. Step away. Step away. This way, right here. That's fine. Okay. VSync is turned off, but I don't need it because I have a high pressure monitor. Okay, so here's the settings. Let's go to settings. Graphics. Okay, so just use the controller because it handles easier in this menu. So I have ignore suggested limit. Let me see if I can. I use Fraps for this part. I have ignore suggested limits. And everything is turned on, like except for like pause game and lost focus because that just does stupid stuff. But texture quality, shadow quality, all that shit's like those won't go up any higher. Water quality, particles quality, grass qualities are ultra. Video PCSS just looks realistic. Post effects are already maxed out. I don't like motion blur. I turned it off. I think it's gross. Same thing with depth of field effects. They just looks gross. Takes away from the crispness of the game. So we go back, go down. Then I also have long shadows, high resolution and high detail streaming, and extended distance scaling on both shadows and objects. Then I go back. Oh, I go back in there and then go back like this. Then we're going to launch a benchmark. Yes. Alright, we're back. We're going to do the benchmark. So, oh shit. Let's turn off the fraps. So we're, as you can see, we're getting about 60, 70 frames per second, and we go back down to 50. But it's still high. I have everything completely maxed out from anti-aliasing to all the shit. Grass settings are also maxed out. Wow, really? That's higher than it's ever been. Still above 40 frames a second. The redneck part always goes really smooth. Yeah, it stayed at above 50 there. This is the carnival, obviously. It stays at above 70 here, except for right there, then it goes down to 60 because of shadows. Can't remember, but this is part of the next part that goes really hard. Alright. Can't see it right now, but it says 50. Drop down to 40. Back up to 50 again. Back down to 40. Just kind of staying between 45 and 50. And then just up to 50, mid 50s. We're at 60 now. We're basically staying at 60 the whole time here. I probably have a VSync at 60. It'll be fine, but I don't need VSync. It's kind of floating between 50 and 60 right here. Wow. I've never once had this game run smooth like this. I mean, yes, the video you're watching right now is at 25 frames a second, but it's because I have a shitty camera. But the game itself is running really fluidly at max settings, and I've never had to do that. And this is the part that's like the hardest on the whole thing, because it's a city and it has to download all this stuff. But I have all the settings turned up. I almost want to see what'll happen if I try to boost the car, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to let it do its thing. But yeah, right about here, it's staying at about 50. Above 50, actually. It went up to 60 here. And it dropped down to 45 during the explosion. And that was my benchmark. That game just... My PC just doesn't fail to impress. When that's maxed out, staying at about 50, the average was really about 45, 46 frames a second, but the highest it went was about 80, the lowest it went was about 40. So actually then that would mean it's about a 55 frames per second average. But yeah, I was trying to get the enhanced pedestrians mod where you could basically have much more pedestrians and traffic stuffs going on, but I failed. So yeah, that's the end of that.